Well, first up this evening, a quick update on that continuing trouble for the Telangana government at the apex court in the Kancha Gachibowli case. Putting the government on guard, the court observed that there has to be a decision on restoring the forests and even warned that it can initiate contempt action. The next hearing in the contentious case has been set for the 23rd of July. The counsel for the state government, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, said there is no further movement on the plans for an IT park at the site, but sought an opportunity to convince the court that the IT park and ecology can go hand in hand. The state wildlife warden, remember, has submitted a full report on the tree felling there. My colleague Uma Sudhir with the key takeaways from the hearing today.
The Supreme Court bench of Chief Justice B.R. Gawai and A.G. Masi, in fact, once again used very strong language and advised the Telangana government to better take a decision to restore the forest lands at Kancha Gachibowli, saying that we have put you on guard. And they, in fact, said that it prima facie appeared to be a pre-planned operation to deforest that land by misusing the long weekend. And he asked Dr. Abhishek Singhvi, who is representing the Telangana government, whether he had not seen those photographs that showed that so many bulldozers had been brought in and deer had in fact run away from that area, and they even asked whether environmental clearance had been sought and pointed out that there could be a contempt that could be initiated, and once again reiterated the threat to the Chief Secretary and other officers, saying that they could be sent to a temporary prison as well. The Chief Justice in fact said that as many as 1,000 trees may have been felled and they could not take it lightly, to which Dr. Abhishek Singhvi said that it was 147 trees that had been cut. And he also said three things. One, that no activity was going on in Kancha Gachibowli as of now. And two, that he should be given an opportunity to say that the IT park and ecology could go together, to which once again the justice in fact said that we are for sustainable development and do not believe that tree felling is the way forward. Counsel K. Parmeshwar brought up the issue of the FIRs against the college students, the HU students who had been the whistleblowers in this particular case, but the court said that they must approach an appropriate court and not, the Supreme Court was not willing to take up the hearing in that particular case. Counsel Parmeshwar also pointed out that a Forest Department ground report had said that 60% of the area that had been cleared was either moderate or very dense forest area.
Well, important facts there. Joining me for a quick political face-off this evening, Kishank Manne of the BRS and Kumbam Srinivasa Reddy of the Congress. First to you, Mr. Srinivasa Reddy. Every hearing in the court seems to be bringing more embarrassment to the government, if I may say so. The question again is if it was hasty action and whether restoration of the felled trees will even be possible now.
Good evening, Raghav. Today the matter has come up before the Supreme Court, and definitely one thing for confirmed is that environmental protection is not negotiable. Definitely the state government is also to offer the protection of the environment. We are very clear on that subject. That even earlier also when the government wanted to go ahead, they said that it would be on a sustainable development model, that this project would be taken up. But for unforeseen reasons, this project has got stopped. Now the Chief Minister has also stated probably in mid-April that if required, there would be an eco park in that area, and if the sustainable development model is not accepted. In the Supreme Court, we have filed our counter today stating the state's stand on this subject. So I don't think it would be much. It would be, since the matter is sub judice, I don't think it is better for me not to talk much on the subject because once the matter is in the court, we'll have to abide by what the court says. Right now, what I would say is that the Congress party is committed for the protection of environment and will definitely take up the model if permitted in a sustainable way, or it would be an eco park. That is what is the stand of the government as of now. As regards the afforestation or the deforestation, which the Supreme Court was saying today that so many trees have been felled, the state government will definitely look into the matter, and the officials of the government need not be, brought into the picture because, they are on record. But definitely the government is trying to restore the ecology and the flora and fauna in whatever possible way.
Right. Krishank Manne, you heard the Congress spokesperson there saying that the government is acutely conscious of protecting the environment. The question being raised before the court as well by the counsel for the government is that they would like to demonstrate that an IT park as well as ecology can go hand in hand. Will politics be the one that tips the balance in ensuring that the environment as well as an IT park can coexist together?
Well, Veera, there is an issue here. In the last hearing in the Supreme Court, the government was asked a clear plan of afforestation and how would they restore the trees which were felled overnight by the Congress government. And today, they still come up with no plan, and no plantation or no restoration has been taken up. Number one. Number two, the intent, the malice attitude of the Congress government has to be questioned, because today officials are being blamed. Officials are being scapegoats, not just the chief secretary in this issue of the Kancha Gachibowli, but in fact here, when it comes to the Hydra also, Honorable High Court has reprimanded that why was it that bulldozers are being used to demolish houses only on the weekend. You see, Supreme Court points out the same thing over a long weekend, wherein this Kancha Gachibowli, huge JCBs were used on a weekend when it was a holiday. And here in Hydra also the same is pointed out. The point is, Chief Minister Revanth Reddy has been making official scapegoats. There is a larger political issue also. His own cabinet ministers are targeted during slander campaigns in his mouthpieces. His own chief minister office is sent through a propaganda through WhatsApp by their social media teams. His own Congress in charge, Meenakshi Natarajan, is being questioned in their own mouthpieces, and now officials. And recently we have seen how Chief Minister Revanth Reddy Garu has abandoned the ship, that he cannot run the administration. Why should officials face over the false policies or the failed policies of Revanth Reddy is our straight question. Today, if Supreme Court has clearly stated that temporary prison to the Chief Secretary, isn't it Mr. Revanth Reddy who should take the blame actually? Why the officials?
Respond to that, Srinivasa Reddy. Straight question from Krishank Manne. 30 seconds for your response.
First of all, I would not like to agree that the Congress government is doing this, but and the processes have been followed. It is not as though the process has not been followed. As the court has asked whether the permissions for the tree felling have been taken or not. In Telangana, we have the Vault Act. Under the Vault Act, there have been permissions which have been taken. And that is what has been reported. And as far as afforestation is concerned, definitely there has to be a plan. And no tree is planted during summers. I hope that that's some common sense which everybody understands. And after the rainfall, whenever it is after immediately when the first rains come, definitely there would be afforestation. It is not something which can be done just planting and just leaving it like that. Okay. If you do something, it has to be done scientifically. That is the reason there is a plan being prepared, and based on that, according to the plan, it would be going ahead. And as regards what's happening in the Congress party, internal affairs that somebody is targeting, is it proven that the mouthpieces of the chief minister talking against the others? That is not when we are talking about a subject, I do not think that is a subject to be discussed over here. It is a separate subject for that.
All right. Krishank Manne, respond to that. 30 seconds to your final response on the response given by Mr. Reddy.
Well, I wish the council of the Congress government would have said the same what Mr. Reddy tried to say here, because the council there came up with a reason saying that they are still on with the IT park as well as ecology. Here you say that you are choosing it for rainy season, XYZ. This could be your escaping point, but that was not the answer at the Supreme Court. You are still adamant because you have mortgaged it for 10,000 crores. And the fact is, the whole of TGIIC is being kept for sale. In the adjacent area, Veera, they are now scouting out to how auction lands. Okay, that is again a different debate. But here, you are not going by the central empowered committee. You're not going by the guidelines of what directions the Honorable Supreme Court has given. You are still defending because you have mortgaged it, and that is why you are adamant that you want a IT
Okay.
park there. I rest my case.
All right. All right. You say you rest your case. 10 seconds. Last response from you, Mr. Reddy.
As they say, TGIIC is auctioning properties. What was the previous government doing? Where will when you are looking for development in the state, definitely some land has to be developed and it has to be auctioned, and then only investment and employment comes. We cannot say that your
You were
auctioning
against that, right?
is up for auction. What did the previous government do? Have they not auctioned lands?
You were against that. How are you supporting it now then? How are you doing it now then?
So
there
there is a difference in stand when you're in power and when you're in opposition. Perhaps that's the truth in terms of taking protests against issues. But thanks very much to both of you for joining us here. I've run completely out of time on that discussion.